I glanced at myself in the mirror, momentarily stunned. My reflection looked gorgeous. The soft pink dress hugged my thin figure perfectly, my golden hair shimmered under the light, my eyeliner was sharp, and my soft red lipstick made my lips look even plumper. My delicate collarbones peeked out slightly, completing the look. Damn, I was too pretty. Oh my god, you look gorgeous. My twin sister Ruby practically screamed, grabbing my shoulders and spinning me around like a mannequin. Ryan, how are you so freaking pretty? I smirked. Because I am. Ruby's eyes narrowed as she scanned me up and down. The hell, your waist is thinner than mine. Maybe I should stop eating those snacks. Move away, you're annoying, I huffed, pushing her aside. Whoa, brother, you look like a princess. Yes, so adorable. My little 4-year-old twin siblings, Elsa and Anna, clapped excitedly, their innocent eyes sparkling. I admired myself again in the mirror, nodding. Well, of course, I'm always pretty. Ruby sighed, crossing her arms. Remember, you're going there to make him hate you, not fall in love with you, okay? Right, that was the whole point. My lovely idiot twin had been online chatting with some powerful businessman named Nathaniel Kane. After days of her spamming his inbox and him constantly ignoring her, he suddenly wanted to meet. Ruby panicked. She didn't want to go but was scared of what would happen if she ignored him. So, she forced me into this ridiculous mission, to pretend to be her and be as annoying as possible so he'd lose interest. At first, I refused. But after 2 weeks of her begging and whining, I finally agreed. Besides, I loved dressing up. No one knew this little secret of mine, except for my family. And if I was being honest, I looked stunning. Taking a deep breath, I made my way to the high-end cafe where the meeting was set. The second I walked in, I could feel people staring. Some stole glances, others straight up gawked. I held my purse strapped tightly, trying to focus. This was normal. I was just that pretty. Then, my phone buzzed. A message from Ruby. His name is Nathaniel Kane. Here's his picture. I clicked on the image, and froze. Nathaniel Kane, as in the Nathaniel Kane. Before I could fully process it, a pair of polished black shoes stopped in front of me. Slowly, I looked up, and up, and up. Wow, so tall. The man standing before me was built like a Greek statue, white shirt layered with an overshirt, ripped jeans, perfectly styled dark hair, and deep, unreadable eyes that somehow softened the moment they landed on me. His jawline was so sharp it could cut glass. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. Oh no, he recognized me, didn't he? I quickly snapped out of it and forced a casual smile. Hi, I am crap. Ruby. Yes, Ruby. Nathaniel raised an eyebrow, clearly suspicious. You are, Ruby. I gulped. Yeah, why, do I not look like her? His lips twitched slightly. No, it's not that, he said slowly, eyeing me up and down before nodding. Shall we sit? We sat across from each other. I fidgeted with my fingers, avoiding his intense stare. Why did you want to meet? Nathaniel exhaled, his deep voice smooth like honey. Honestly, I planned to tell Ruby to stop messaging me. But now, I've changed my mind. I blinked. I think I'd actually like to get to know you, he said, smiling softly. You seem interesting. What? He can't like me already. This is bad. No, time to activate annoyance mode. What would you like to order? The waiter asked. Without hesitation, I grinned. Everything on the menu. The waiter's eyes widened. I smirked, waiting for Nathaniel to react. Surely, he'd be horrified by my excessive order. Make sure everything is fresh and of the highest quality, Nathaniel told the waiter smoothly. And don't take too long. Why was he not fazed? Alright, time to be more annoying. I picked up the fancy silverware, exaggeratedly holding it the wrong way. Oh my god, look at all these forks and knives, Nathaniel. Do I even need all of them? I don't know what to do. I accidentally knocked over half the utensils, causing heads to turn. Oops, Nathaniel didn't even blink. It's okay. That's what staff is here for. Damn it. Next step, I grabbed a massive forkful of salad and stuffed it into my mouth, spilling dressing all over the pristine white tablecloth. I chewed obnoxiously loud, smacking my lips. Still, no reaction. I narrowed my eyes. Okay, let's turn it up a notch. So, Nathaniel, do you always eat at fancy places like this? I said, waving my hands dramatically. I bet it's not even as good as fast food, right? Like, what's the point of all this? I took a loud, messy bite of bread. This is so dry. Who even likes dry bread? Nathaniel just smiled. You're cute. I choked on my bread. What? Nothing. He casually sipped his drink. Okay, last resort, alcohol. I gulped down my wine dramatically, shifting left and right like an unhinged drunk. Don't you want a drink? It's tasty. Nathaniel's lips curved. You look much tastier. I violently choked on my drink. He grabbed a napkin and, with an absurd level of gentleness, wiped the spilled wine off my lips, his fingers lingering for just a second too long. I sat frozen. Brain buffering. Error 404. What the hell just happened? Nathaniel, the terrifying, powerful, emotionally constipated school heartthrob, just wiped my lips like I was some delicate glass figurine. His touch was so gentle, so caring, like I was the most precious thing he'd ever seen. I should push him away. I should be making him hate me. Instead, why the hell am I blushing? My hands shot up, covering my burning cheeks as I scooted back in my chair like he was a ticking bomb. Nathaniel blinked at me, confused. Oh God, even his confused face is hot. Help. What do you think you're doing? I stammered, pointing an accusing finger at him. Why you just wiped my face like I'm some kind of child. Do you have no concept of personal space? Nathaniel simply leaned back, resting his chin on his hand, watching me like I was the most entertaining thing in the world. You had wine dripping from your lips, he said smoothly. What kind of gentleman would I be if I let something so sweet go to waste? Oh my God, did he just say that? Nope. This was not part of the plan. I slammed my hands on the, standing up so fast my chair nearly toppled over. I need air. I gasped dramatically before speed walking toward the bathroom like my life depended on it. In the safety of the restroom, I stared at myself in the mirror, gripping the sink. Ryan, get a grip. This man is not supposed to like you. He's supposed to be annoyed by you. You're here to ruin this meeting, not turn it into some romance movie. I took deep breaths, trying to calm the furious blush on my face. It's fine. Just go back out there and be more annoying. He'll hate you eventually. With a deep sigh, I adjusted my dress, held my head high, and strutted back out. Only to find Nathaniel standing right outside the restroom door. Waiting. For me. Why, you took a while, he said casually. Are you feeling okay? My jaw dropped. Why are you waiting here? Nathaniel shrugged, as if standing outside the women's restroom for 5 minutes was the most normal thing in the world. It's not safe for a delicate girl like you to be alone. Oh, my God, I nearly choked on my own spit. Delicate girl, I wanted to scream, but I couldn't because damn it, he was actually being sweet. Let's just go back to the table. I rushed, brushing past him, praying to every god out there that he'd stop looking at me like I hung the damn moon. But as I sat down, trying to recollect myself, Nathaniel gently placed his jacket over my shoulders. What now? I blinked at him in horror. What are you doing? You're shivering, he said simply, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. I glanced down. Damn it, he was right. My arms had goosebumps, probably from my own stress. But that doesn't mean I need his jacket. I moved to take it off. I'm fine. Nathaniel firmly placed his hand over mine, stopping me. Keep it on, he ordered gently. I swallowed hard. My brain was screaming. My heart was racing. This wasn't supposed to happen. He wasn't supposed to like me. I stared at him in disbelief. He just stared back, calm as ever, completely unaffected. This was going to be harder than I thought. I didn't know what to do. I returned home after the date where I was supposed to break up with him, to make him hate me. Instead, he ended up liking me more. Wow. As soon as I stepped inside my apartment, I kicked off my heels, rushed to my room, and tore off the dress and makeup. Throwing on an oversized hoodie, I collapsed onto my bed, staring at the ceiling. My heart wouldn't calm down. My brain refused to shut up. He's so gentle, so caring. Of course, only because he thinks I'm a girl. No one, especially a man like him, would ever do such things for another guy. If he knew the truth, if he found out that I was not what he thought, would he still look at me the same way? Or would he be disgusted? I shut my eyes, trying to block out the thoughts. But one memory from today's incidents wouldn't stop replaying in my head. He knelt down for me. In the middle of the street. Like it was the most normal thing in the world. I had been wearing heels, painful ones. I thought I hid my discomfort well, but somehow, he noticed. Before I could protest, Nathaniel had rushed into a store, grabbed a pair of soft, fluffy shoes, ones that somehow matched my dress perfectly, and came back. I had barely opened my mouth to thank him when he knelt down, right there, in public. My eyes widened. What are you doing? Nathaniel looked up, expression unreadable, before softly saying, may I? I blinked, confused. May he what? Slowly, hesitantly, I nodded. That's when he reached for my foot, as if it were something fragile, something precious. Gently, with so much care, he lifted it onto his knee, removed my heels, and slid the new shoes onto me. His fingers barely brushed my skin, yet it sent a shiver down my spine. His face was soft. So soft. There was something in his eyes, something thick and raw, something real. And the way he smiled afterward. It was like he had just won the world. Pure satisfaction, pure joy. He didn't even try to hide it. What the hell? People were staring. I wanted to sink into the ground. Why was he doing this? Why was someone like him, rich, calculated, a literal heartthrob everyone worshipped, kneeling on a dirty sidewalk, helping me with my shoes? We just met, right? Then why does he act like he's known me for years? Like he's liked me for years? I groaned, burying my face into my pillow. This is not okay. The way he looks at me. The way he asks for permission before doing anything. He makes me feel seen. In over 20 years of my life, I don't think I've ever felt this giddy. Well, maybe once. Years ago, at high school. But still, how? I was still blushing, hugging my pillow like a lovesick teenager, when my door burst open. Ruby stormed in, eyes sparkling with curiosity. Tell me everything. I squeaked and hid my face. Ruby gasped dramatically. Oh my God, you're blushing. You, go away, I mumbled into the pillow. Ruby plopped onto my bed, shaking me excitedly. Nope, spill the tea. What happened? Did he confess? Did you guys kiss? Oh my God, did you? Ruby. I smacked her with my pillow, but she only cackled in response. I was doomed. I really had no idea how Nathaniel managed to be like this. Cold, ruthless, untouchable, yet, at the same time, so unbelievably gentle whenever it came to me. It felt weird even thinking about it. We'd been meeting almost every day. He couldn't go a week without seeing me at least twice, and we spent late nights talking on the phone. He always made sure I was okay. But the more he cared, the more terrified I became. What if he found out? What if he hated me? He was in love with me, so bad. But here I was, betraying him, making him fall for something that wasn't real. That thought alone was breaking me. Things changed when I decided to call him. Yes, I wanted to tell him the truth. I didn't want him to fall deeper, nor did I want to fall for him, because I knew I was. But when I called, someone else picked up. Nathaniel is sick, the voice on the other end said. My heart clenched. Before I could process it, they gave me an address and told me to come over. I froze, speechless. And now, here I was, standing in front of Nathaniel's high-end apartment, 2 hours away from the university. I took a deep breath and knocked. After 2 knocks, the door opened, revealing Nathaniel. His face was pale, his usual sharpness replaced with exhaustion. He looked annoyed, probably having been asleep, but the second he saw me, his entire expression softened, his eyes sparkled. Wow, hi, I stammered. I called, but someone else picked up. They said you were sick and asked me to visit. I also thought maybe I could. Please, get in. His voice was hoarse but urgent. I blinked at his suddenness but nodded and stepped inside. His place was immaculate, just as I expected. Nathaniel, on the other hand, wasted no time collapsing back onto his bed, a small smile playing on his lips. I'm sick, he mumbled like a child. I can see that, I said, crossing my arms. Have you taken your medicine? He pouted. Why was a man nearly 6'3" acting like a helpless puppy? I'm hungry, he whined. I can't take medicine on an empty stomach, can I? I sighed. Fine, I'll make you some porridge. Then you can have your meds. His eyes lit up. Really, you can cook? I gave him a look. Wait here. Walking into the kitchen, I quickly made porridge. The entire time, I could feel his gaze on me. When I turned around, he was sitting at the table, watching me like an excited kid. It's so good, Nathaniel exclaimed after taking a bite. I chuckled, grabbing a napkin. Oh, wait, I gently took his chin and wiped the food off his lips. The moment my fingers brushed against his skin, I realized what I had done. My heart skipped a beat. Nathaniel, too, froze, his expression unreadable. There was something deep in his eyes, something he wasn't hiding this time. Slowly, I pulled my hand away. He looked down, eating slower now. I could hear my heartbeat pounding in my ears, but then I realized, it wasn't just mine. I glanced at Nathaniel, who sat there tense, gripping his spoon like he was holding back a million things. Once he finished eating, he lay back down. I gave him his medicine, gently patting his hair to help him sleep. "Nathaniel," I called softly. He hummed in response, obviously enjoying my touch. I gulped, nerves hitting me all at once. Then, before I could stop myself, I blurted out, "I'm not what you think I am." Silence. I sucked in a breath. I'm not a girl. Was I not supposed to know that? Silence again. My eyes widened as I looked down. Nathaniel had already fallen asleep. I quickly backed away, my heart thudding in my chest. What the hell did he mean? Did I hear that right? I was so freaked out that I ran out of there, back to my place. I avoided his calls and messages for the next 2 days, completely shaken. I thought I could ignore him forever, until he literally showed up at my house. And to make it worse, my idiot sister Ruby actually let him in, dragging the twins away and leaving me alone with him. I was screwed. Nathaniel's dark, angry eyes locked onto me, and I panicked. I wasn't wearing a dress. I wasn't in disguise. I was just me, a guy, trying to act normal. I took a step back, but he stepped forward. Another step back, another step closer, until my back hit the wall. "Listen," I blurted. "I know you're mad. I know I shouldn't have betrayed you like that. You can hit me if you want. I don't mind." I was cut off when Nathaniel suddenly pinned me against the wall, his hand beside my head, caging me in. I froze. Then, to my utter disbelief, I heard it. A sniffle. My eyes widened. I thought you hated me," Nathaniel's voice trembled. "That you never wanted to see me again." I was scared. God, I was terrified. Wait, he was mad about that. From high school until now, he whispered, "I was in love with you." Hopelessly. But I never had the chance to say it. Then, that day at the cafe, you appeared. You have no idea how I felt. I was so happy, I cherished every moment we spent together. But then, you ignored me for 2 days, it felt like hell. How could you do that to me? I was frozen, mind racing. From high school, what the hell? Nathaniel, what do you mean, high school? I asked, confused. Slowly, he looked up, eyes red, lips swollen from biting. Me? I'm NK. I sucked in a sharp breath. Everything suddenly made sense. Back in high school, I was caught applying lipstick and powder. A classmate saw me and bullied me relentlessly. But then, one day, he disappeared. So did every other person who mocked me. Even the teachers, who used to scold me for no reason, suddenly started treating me normally. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. Then, one day, I found a letter in my book. "Dear Ryan, you may not know me, but I just want you to know, don't let others discourage you from what you love. I think it's cute. You're beautiful, with or without makeup or dresses. You're allowed to be yourself. Don't let anyone stop you. And if anyone dares to hurt you, don't worry. I'll always take care of them for you. NK. That letter had changed everything for me. I had fallen in love with it. With NK. I tried to find out who it was, but I never could. Eventually, I forgot about it. But now, Nathaniel Kane. Nathaniel Kane was NK. I remembered, we were in the same class. We never talked. He was popular but cold, distant. But now that I thought about it, whenever I was in trouble, he was there. Whenever I was struggling in class, he raised his hand and asked the teacher to repeat everything from the beginning. Whenever I was about to be bullied, he suddenly showed up, saying, "The teacher's calling you," making them leave me alone. It all made sense. I was speechless. Nathaniel stared at me like his life depended on my next words. Gently, he held my hand. "From then until now," he said softly, "I've loved you every second." I swallowed hard. "You really don't care that I lied to you?" I asked. Nathaniel chuckled. "Do I look like I care?" His voice dropped. "Honestly, I love it. I love you in dresses. It's adorable." A mischievous smirk curled on his lips. "I'd love to see you in a skirt." I stared at him. "You're suddenly shameless. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet." I smiled at him as he slowly leaned in, pressing his lips against mine in a soft kiss. I melted into it, my heart racing as I kissed him back. It was soft at first, hesitant and sweet, but then it deepened, turning passionate and firm, as if he was pouring years of hidden feelings into it. His hands gently cupped my face, holding me as if I was the most precious thing in the world. That's how we became one. Just as he said, he was shameless. He kissed me a lot, never getting enough, always pulling me close, always reminding me with his touches and glances that I was his. And of course, he was jealous. Very jealous. Possessive, even. Like the time he literally burst out in rage when he saw me talking to a girl he didn't recognize, only to turn red in embarrassment when I introduced her as my older sister, who had just returned from overseas. Or the time he dragged me into his arms after I laughed a little too much at one of his cousin's jokes during a family gathering. And speaking of his family, he made me meet them. And guess what? His entire family already knew about me. They had known all along, even before I had figured everything out. And they accepted me. Not just accepted, they adored me. They treated me like I was already part of them, showering me with love and warmth. But Nathaniel, being the possessive man that he was, hardly even let them near me for too long. If someone hugged me for too long, his arm was immediately around my waist, pulling me closer. If his sister ruffled my hair, he would fix it himself, acting as if he was the only one allowed to touch me. And if his mother doted on me too much, he'd pout like a jealous child, muttering under his breath about how I was his before anyone else. It was ridiculous. It was over the top. But it was Nathaniel, and I wouldn't have it any other way.